first of all, thank you, sir, for coming, taking your valuable time. It's a pleasure and honor to be here, sitting alongside. So this is an interesting topic, close to the heart, because manufacturing today, especially in India, right, it's a defining moment. We are talking about AI in manufacturing and then transforming it. So with that note, I would like to, you have seen manufacturing evolve for a decade, for more than a decade now, right? So what are your thoughts? How is this happening? How is AI transforming?
Yeah, hi everyone. I have been already introduced. Just to present that I am representing Kirloskar Brothers as a global CIO. Coming to the pure point, Dipti, touchwood, my first job, wherein I'll say my professional first job is in the manufacturing. I work in the plant. Right. Though I work in the various verticals, including manufacturing, service, consumer electronics, and automobiles, so on. But then majorly my experience goes into the manufacturing. And that's what I started my career as a programmer to reach to this position. So from bottom of that one to the top position. In 1997, when I took my first job in manufacturing, I used to this when MRP run was been something very great. Right.
True.
In those days, I have seen that when this in manufacturing. That time I was doing the programming in the C++ and we built a system called CARS, which is computerized attendance recording system, which was through your biometrics or the punch card. So those days, if I look at to those days and today's days, so I see that the shift has happened probably in the 3 phases. It will take 10 years each in 30 years, right? Earlier days of manufacturing was very slow, right? So manufacturing used to work on their new age at that point of time, like ERP or MRP. Many of the people, those working in manufacturing, must be knowing that popular term of SAP R3 or SAP GUI base, right? Very silos work, right? When the planning happened differently, production happened differently, right? Service happened differently. So everybody was hungry to only capture the data, right? And this went for the decades, right? Until the manual MIS, everything has happened. Mostly the manufacturing was not aware what is happening in supply chain, manufacturing is not aware of what is happening in planning, and they are not aware what is happening in the field. Then comes the era where the people started talking, the information has to flow from field to here or within the plant. And then the concept came as a day-end closure. You used to know that month-end closure, day-end closure has started coming into this one. Wherein at the end of the day, we used to know how much is the production happened. At the end of the day, we know that how much is the demand and what is the end of the day has happened. So there they started the integration of the system, and from there I see that data started flowing into the decision making. So it was transition from, I would say, MIS to DSS, the decision support system. Earlier it should be MIS, right? And then started with the decision making. This was the went for the couple of years again, right? When the integration happened. And then comes under, I think, after 2016, I would say, the last 10 years, right? It started talking about hyper automation, right? And wherein every bits can we have a real time information. And their organization started pushing their money into digitalization, talking about this one. Now this era I started where in not only the service sales market is been targeted to have user experience, but my manufacturing plants are also been targeted to have user experience. And this is the era started, and where this AI journey comes. Now my plant is also accountable and responsible, whether my consumer who is on the market is getting the experience, and if his experience is not up to the mark, then plant is also accountable for that, and not the supply chain and the sales team. This is the journey I am seeing in the last 3 decades.
So true, sir. I remember like when I started my career with that, MIS, DSS, I can completely relate, and I'm sure the audience here can also relate to it. And now today we are in the Instagram world, as we call it, right, where everyone has to be at the tip. I have like a 6-year-old, and if there is the phone doesn't work, if there is a second buffer, he will just throw the phone. So we are seeing that user experience everywhere, not just at home, not just in IT companies, but at manufacturing plant level is where we are seeing this. So talking about the current impact, right? How do you see AI? Is it posing a challenge? Is it is it there? What are your thoughts and how it would span over a decade?
AI is for the manufacturing. AI is working in the two part, right? When I will say that, is it only automation? So SCADA, MES, making them intelligent, right? Making the shop floor more intelligent is obviously is AI is taking place. But what I feel that where the AI is playing a more role in the current manufacturing, which we talk in my AI strategy also, I talked many times, and board also appreciate, and that is what they wanted to do. This one is that, does my shop floor is connected to my top floor? Does my board knows what is happening on the shop floor? At the same time, does my customer is on the shop floor? To give elaborate more, so we manufacture the pump. We have majorly 3 segments, right? Which we call small pump, medium pump, large pump. So we are in all 3 segments, which typically called as B2B, B2C, and B2E engineering, right? Whatever is happening with the pump, right? If it is industrial pump, the testing has to happen, perform, and many tests has to go. How do we do the testing? The traditional way is that you do the testing and you give the testing certificate to the consumer. Industrial saying that you are certifying this testing. This is, I think, becoming a history now. My customer wanted to see the testing which I am doing remotely. So we have built a test lab which AI enabled, wherein through the remote he sees all parameters, that's not my test certificate. And at the whatever the AI system I have built in, whether that result are given correctly or not correctly, and I have to explain the explainability of that AI model to the consumer real time. So that is the era has come now. So there is no more test certificate. My customer is asking, show me what you are doing. So actually my customer I have connected to my shop, right? There the AI is working, and there only my top floor also says, right? My board doesn't say that at the end of the quarter, end of the year, you show me the result, how much is profitability, right? They want everything to be done. My channel strategy doesn't work at the end of the year. My channel strategy, AI wanted to tell me that which are the pin code or which are the area where my computer is strong, but I am not strong, that AI model has to tell, and that AI model tells today to my manufacturing. My manufacturing, our AI model are working so beautifully, and we are telling them that if I have a plant in one area, and from the 20 km from that plant, there is another warehouse is there, my AI model tells that you need not to have this warehouse because your real estate cost is very high. Why don't you build your warehouses within your factory premises where you have a lot of land, and serve this one. So that kind of the optimization that AI is doing. So manufacturing game is very different, very complex, and most of the time people see that manufacturing means only AI in the machine. No, manufacturing AI it's going beyond. Machine is to be connected to the consumer. So that is the AI journey we are doing.
Absolutely, sir. Basically AI is everywhere, and today every consumer wants to know where my product came from. That's true with the common products, FMCG products we buy, or whether it is, as you suggested, even in manufacturing, where customers want to know that where are the pumps tested, how are they tested. So another important question, right? When it comes to AI, we all talk about ROI. How do you see a ROI, and especially in manufacturing, right, which is a huge capex industry, right, as compared to any other industry? So where are you seeing, and which areas do you see the ROIs?
See, Dipti, my 30 years of the experience, many people sitting over here will also agree. Proving the ROI is not the AI age challenge. Proving the ROI is the 3-decade challenge, right? Everywhere you have to prove the ROI. And with investing with so much and having so much of budget in the hand for last many years with me and spending this one, I always saw heated debate on the ROI, whether you get the ROI or not get the ROI. But I think more important question here to address is that, does the organization are willing to do a spend on innovation, and do they have a capability and that patience to give their leadership team and to their employee fail. They should allow their employee to fail. If they don't fail, how the innovation will happen? So day one you ask ROI, and I think 70% project get killed.
True. True.
Now, how do I convince to the leadership team? How do I convince to the board? I say, I don't need 100 crore. I don't need 20 crore. Give me 20 lakhs. I will fail early. If I fail early, you are loss of this much. If I succeed, then you will have motivation to give more fund. Right. Now, when you fail for 20 lakhs, you know your ROI is not going to work. If you succeed for 20 lakhs, you know your 20 crore also are going to work. Let's adopt that practice rather than asking the ROI question on the day one. Because
Absolutely.
it's a very tricky question. You hire the one manpower. Mr. Chandru was here. How do you know on the day one that this person as a leadership will really contribute to my benefit growth? You don't know, you invest. Right? So in human capital, if you invest with the risk, why can't you invest on the technology with risk? I'm just saying you fail early, no problem. But you invest, do continuous innovation, and then you get this one.
Absolutely, sir. Such a beautiful thought, right? As you invest in human capital, you have to invest in technology. And see, you might fail in human capital by hiring someone, but not hiring is even bad, right? So similarly with the innovation, right? You have to innovate, and as an organization, of course, Tudip always innovate and try to innovate. So next question to you, sir, which is a very prominent question. There are so many leaders in this room, and sometimes there is always a question, right? We all want, and we all know AI is reality. AI is here to stay. It's not about whether AI will bring transformation. It is more about how it will bring it. So before that, right, many of the leaders have this question or the fear, I would say, where to start, right? So what would be your advice to leaders, organizations who are beginning their AI journey?
So I think first thing, when I started to plotting our AI roadmap for 3 years and 5 years, few years back, we also thought it deliberately, and I told my team, let's not first talk about what is the AI in the market. Let's not talk about what are the AI technologies that are available in the market. Let's not talk about what are the platform in the market AI enabled. Let's first identify where are we bleeding most. Where is the maximum bigger problem you have in organization? Organization problem may be different. Some organization may have a great problem in supply chain. Some organization may have a great problem in design. Some organization may have a problem in the maintenance. Many people says, I hear that predictive maintenance, you will get a lot of things.
True.
I differ with that opinion. I don't get anything from out of predictive maintenance. I get it from design, right? Because my most of the pump design, which are B2B or B2E engineering, the engineering time span itself is a year or two. My engineering team for 2 to 3 years only does the product design and then it gets manufactured. So why do I go to the predictive maintenance? I will make that simplified. If I reduce my design cycle from 2 years to 6 months, it is a bigger benefit to me.
True.
So why not to AI to work there rather than AI to work to predictive maintenance? So I think as all technology leader, first thing must understand their business well. Once they understand the business well, identify which is the use case, which is the most difficult use case. You may take a longer time to prove that. But then if you identify the use case, you can plan your deliveries in the pieces. But then identify that, and from there you start. And then comes, how do we solve this problem? And then comes which platform, which technology, which tool, and which partner. Unless this one, so you start from there, I think your half the work is done.
I completely echo you. So I was in this second orbit session, leadership session held by NASCOM in IIT Bombay. And that's exactly what that also taught me, like identify the problem, just one problem. Don't go with all the problems at one time. Identify the problem and then figure it out, solve that and move to next. And I see sir echoing that, don't go with the predictive maintenance because everyone says in manufacturing predictive maintenance. Identify the one which takes a longer duration, and then probably those are where you can start as a leader or as an organization. So there's another, leading to this, right? Another question I have for you. So there are organizations that succeed and there are organizations that struggle. Any thoughts on that? Why does that happen? Both are starting the AI journey together. Yeah, there could be vision, but what is your thought like?
My experience says that this is again how do you start and how do you carry, right? If you don't start with the right use case for the business, then motivation is a very low for anybody to do the investment.
True.
Right? Your finance, your functional people, your board will not be very willingness to do the investment to that one. Because they don't want to hear how growth works. They don't want to hear how ChatGPT works. They don't want to listen what your different AI algorithms, right? They wanted to listen to that how the business case will be solved. First. Second thing is the how technology leaders are representing their AI cases to the investor and board. Right, this is important. Third most important thing is that I felt that the transformative leaders who sells the destination without proving they cannot run first 10 meter will fail. First you run the 10 meter, show the success, and then you sell the marathon. Most of the people does this mistake. They go, they start, they ask money, they ask fund, they show the presentation, they say give me this one, nothing happens. You work silently, make some business cases successful, present that business cases that this is the journey we did and we solved these two problems, and you see your all manpower problem, your skill problem, your fund problem is solved. I have witnessed after showing such success case, from top floor there is instruction to the HR, give them the manpower. There is instruction to the finance, you allocate the budget to them. It is like that one. I always relate this experience with my cybersecurity also. Many times cybersecurity, you get the fund, though this is the harsh reality, you get the fund after attack. And then everybody says, ठीक है यार, till the time everybody asks you, how does this happen, and do you have a log, and do you have this one, do you have that system, does the government mandate to you, you have a one attack and you get everything. So I think maybe I'm not a very finished technology leader. I'm talking to straight from my heart and how did I do this one. This last 30 years, right? And I did my journey, passionate about last 15 years. This is happened. So go prove and you get it.
Oh, absolutely, sir. And we want to hear your heart-to-heart talk. Then the bookish thing, we all know that we can get it from ChatGPT, our favorite friend. So, but yeah, we are looking to hear a real-life experience from you. And it's so wonderful that you have been talking and letting us know your experience. So, coming to the experience, sir, what is that one lesson you would, because you have such a vast decade, more than a decade old experience, 30 decades, right? People are talking, though you don't look that old, So, what would one lesson you give it to, or you would give to all of us as a leaders who are driving digital transformation?
The day I took my first assignment as a CIO, sometime back, I think 15, 18 years back, and today, I see one prominent shift in the leadership, right? The quantum of a number of leaders, those are only business leaders without having a knowledge of technology are shrinking. You have a more business leader who has a more know the technology well. So the challenge for the CIOs and the technology leader also to be a business leader. The way your CEO, because these new entrepreneur, new generation CEOs are coming on board, they know the technology well, right? Then in हमने बोलते हैं उनको हल्के में मत लेना. Don't think that you know the technology everything. Now what is your win game? You should know the business well. If you know the business well, that is what their expectation. Don't just tell me the technology. I know the technology. I know how ChatGPT works, right? My promoter says, don't tell me that, right? In which areas the ChatGPT works, right? Or what are the areas where the AI should invest in? Now tell me, in our context, what is the problem you are going to solve out of this? Right. So my major lesson to this all technology leader will be that first thing that be an expert as much as possible as you are using. I'm not saying that someday CEO or CTO will replace the CFO. And it is unlikely other way around also. CFO or CTO CFO replacing the CTO is also lesser, right? There will be the exception, right? But as much as the business leader know the technology nowadays, the technology leader should also know the business well. And many times I see that because of their fond, their passion to technology, they forget the business. Don't forget the business. You have been hired only because you know the technology well. Now the expectation is that how you understand the business and translate your technology into business. I think that is a difference.
Thank you, sir, for such an insightful perspective. At Tudip, we strongly believe that AI is not just a technology, it's enabling organizations to unlock levels of efficiency, intelligence, and innovation. And we completely echo the same thought what you said. Everything should be connected. In today's era, what we are looking at is a connected systems, decision making, which is again connected to the system from shop floor to the customer, from top management to the shop floor. Everything is connected. So thank you once again everyone for being such a fantastic audience, and thank you sir for presenting these wonderful thoughts. Thank you.